Hello everybody. Today we're going to go moon mining on Lyria with the Prospector. So maybe you're wondering how to set your Prospector up. I mean there's a number of different mining heads and modules that you can apply to your Prospector. I'll show you my setup. So I have the Helix 1 mining laser, which is pretty powerful and will get you, with the help of a surge module, probably rocks up to 13, maybe 14,000. But generally I look for rocks under 12,000 because they're just easier. Depending on the combination of minerals in the rock, of course. Some are easier than others. Quartz and aluminium are pretty good. Corundum is a bit tougher. And I put a focus module on. It's only a focus 2, but you could go with a focus 3. And what that does is increase the optimal size of the size of the optimal window when you're mining the deposit. Some people like to go for the Rygar to get more power, but I don't really need it with the Surge and the Helix. Another combination you could go for, if you're not worried about the size of the optimal window, is the Surge and the Stampede, or 2 Surges for extra power. But of course the optimal window will be much smaller. Depending on the combination of the minerals in the rock, the optimal window will vary. All right, let's get on with it. I'm at Arkel 2 at the moment, and just going to call my Prospector from the ESOP terminal.
Welcome to the ESOP vehicle retrieval system. Your vehicle has been delivered to the company.
So we get Hangar 4. Oops, pressed the wrong hanger. So with 3.23 we got a new UI. There's a new interaction mode, and if you don't want the new interaction key on, you can turn it off. Go to options, go to game settings, go to interaction prompt display input icon, turn it off to no, and you're away. If you have a computer that doesn't really handle Star Citizen too well, there are a couple of things you can do to improve performance, I've found. Everybody's different, but one thing I do is turn off volumetric clouds. That improves my performance quite a bit. And I turn off motion blur. Yeah, apart from that, I don't do much else. So I just requesting takeoff clearance. Turn the ship on by pressing right Alt and R. Otherwise you can press U and I believe. change to nav mode because we're traveling. Bring up the landing gear by pressing N. Unless you have sticks, then obviously your keybinds will be different. So I'm going to set a destination on the star map. I'm going to Lyria. Went too far. And what I'm going to do is go to Lyria and just navigate to OM1 and then drop down. Well, you can go to a point of interest if you like, but it's more likely to attract hostile traffic. And the last thing you want to do in a prospector is have to fight anyone. I mean, it's not impossible, but it's not much fun. And we'll be back when we get to Lyria. Here we are at Lyria. When you get to Lyria, go to OM1 and then point towards the middle of the moon and accelerate. Use C, Alt C to set cruise control. And then when the altimeter appears, or just before that, start reducing the velocity of your spacecraft. Otherwise, you'll slam into the moon. We're going to look for rocks under about 12K. You can probably do rocks up to 15K with a surge, but they're very tricky, and if the instability is great, you can blow up the rock and damage your prospector, maybe lose your prospector bags. That's happened to me before. So there we are, the altimeter's kicked in, so we reduce our velocity as we get closer to the moon's surface. Set a trajectory, and I would say head towards the sun, just because it's easier if you like to mine in the daytime. It's not necessary to mine in the daytime, you can mine at night if you like. I just find mining in the daytime easier. When you get to about 3 or 4K above the surface, or so, the deposits should start appearing, maybe before then. If you can't find any deposits in scan mode, you can always switch to mining mode, but you have to be in SCM mode or guns mode or master modes mode to deploy the mining head. So you can deploy the mining head, and sometimes that helps you scan in deposits. Otherwise, just keep switching between mining mode and scan mode and see what happens. Hopefully something comes up. Just keep pinging by pressing tab or whatever keybind you have for pinging until a deposit scans in. And then head for it. Try this. I'm not getting any deposits at the moment, but we'll just keep going. As you can see, I'm just sweeping around through about 45 degrees. There we go. 12,110 means there's probably 5 or 6 deposits there. We can hone in on the deposit and see how many rocks there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maybe. That's good. And then there's another one that's pinged in over there. We'll just see what that is. Turn the piercing off. 10,380. Okay, that's another good deposit. If this one doesn't bear fruit, we'll go and have a look at that one. Now the individual rocks come into view. Good. Go in nice and close with your mining head out and scan each of the deposits. We'll take this one down here first. Looks like a small deposit. Yeah, 148. And it's tier 3, so it's not worth mining. 6346. That's worth mining, gold, unless we can find something better. That's too big. Quantanium. Well, I mean, I think it's too big. But we're going to have a go at it anyway. I don't think we'll get it. That one's okay, 16799. Aluminium. It's a good base mineral. We'll get in nice and tight to this Quantanium. If we can get this, it will be a real bonus, but I'll probably end up blowing up the ship instead. We'll see what happens. So we'll get it to about, I don't know, 40% and go with the surge and see if we can get any movement. Slowly raise the power on the laser. I think it's too big, to be honest. Yeah, we'll try one more surge. No. That's just about 5,000. That's about 5,000 tons too big. I've got a visual bug on the laser again. So gold 20%, not really worth it for 20%. 25% gold, not really worth it. Any more rocks in this deposit? I think that's it. No, if I had a mole, I would have been able to get that, but I'm not going to worry. So we'll go over to this other deposit. Normally when I'm looking at tier 1 deposits, I try to get something in the vicinity of 30% or better. Otherwise you just end up with a lot of trash. Tier 3, which is not worth a lot of money. Let's go down here. There seems to be six rocks here. That one's a bit too big, 23,000. We've already proved that that's too big with the laranite. I don't want laranite. 12,700. What is it? Quantanium. Yeah, I can get that. And that's 48%. That is a very nice rock. It says it's impossible, but it's not impossible. It's got a very small optimal window though, so I have to be very careful, and the instability is pretty high. See, it's going. It'll go. I don't want to use a surge if I can help it, because it'll just go into the overcharge very fast. But if I do use a surge, it'll get it up into the optimal range. So we'll try to use a surge and see what we get. Got it up close, but it didn't quite get us into the optimal window. I'll pop another one. I just have to be very careful with the amount of charge I use. See, like I said, I'll go into the red and blow up the rock. Yeah, this is a very hard rock. I didn't think it'd be quite so hard. No, it's going to blow up. Unfortunately, we lost that. When I go close, it'll just explode in my face and destroy the prospector's bags. Yeah, I lost every. Okay. Oh, maybe I might be able to get something out of that. Hopefully, that's good. It's worked out better than I expected. I mean, I thought it would just explode the rock and destroy it and take out my prospector, but it hasn't done that, which is a good thing. And very lucky. Normally the rock just disappears when you put in so much overcharge. I'm quite happy with that result. Quantanium pays about 25,000 AEUC if you refine it at Lawville, or if you refine it at Orison. It pays quite a bit less if you, not refine, but sell. If you sell it at Area 18, it pays quite a bit less, only 22,000. So I recommend selling it at Lawville or Orison. And you get 25 minutes to get it back to the refinery once you've started taking it on board. 25 minutes, otherwise it becomes incredibly unstable and will blow up your ship. So I learned something today. Even if it goes into the overcharge, the deposit doesn't explode and disintegrate. All right, so we're in extraction mode for those of you who don't know. I don't think we might just take some of those little pieces. And there's another piece of Quantanium there. If I can somehow I don't think I'll be able to get it though because it seems to be underground. I'll try another angle. Oh, we got it. Oh, beautiful. A full load. So now we'll head back to the refinery at RKL2 and if there's no mishaps on the way, we'll be able to refine that load. So go back into nav mode, head out into space. We're in space. Point towards your destination. Click and press left mouse button once it's spooled up, and that'll get you to your destination. Once we're in the vicinity, it'll make us jump again. When I'm approaching a station, I leave it in nav mode till I get to about 9 or 10k out. Then I call landing services by pressing Alt plus N and switch to guns mode or master modes mode, whatever you want to call it, to slow the ship down in a hurry. When we get to the station, I'll go through refining a bit with you so that you can get a handle. So head towards hangar 1. Try to land gently when you've got a load of Quantanium because it is an extremely unstable ore. And I've had people tell me about their accidents of slamming into hangars and blowing up the ship. Back in the day, we only got 15 minutes to get the ore into the refinery, but they increased it to 25 minutes, which takes a bit of the pressure off. It's not quite as hairy when you've got 25 minutes. Once you store the ship, the timer stops. I sort of disagree with that. It's nice, but I think it would be maybe a bit more realistic if the timer kept going until you actually put the ore in at the refinery.
Welcome to the ASOC vehicle retrieval system.
But then again, it's a game. It's not exactly a simulation, is it? So we go up the elevator to the refinery. Keep an eye on your hydration and your food. Make sure you don't die of thirst. You'll die of thirst long before you die of starvation as well. I'm at 96% hydration, so I'm going to be good for a couple more hours. Alright, when we get to the refinery, you have ore sales, and you can sell your ore directly there. So we go select a location, choose the Prospector, and you'll see it's worth 158,000 credits to sell direct. But if you refine it, you will get a lot more. So we're going to choose the Prospector, set up a work order. We're going to select Quantanium. We're not going to select aluminium. Now we could use the ferron exchange method, but that costs more. However, it only takes half the time of Dynic solvanation. We'll just see how much that costs. 22,000, and it takes 9.5 hours. Cancel that, and we'll set up another work order, and we'll go Dynic solvanation, and we'll go Quantanium. We won't refine the aluminium because it's just junk. You can, if you want, get quote 28 hours and 51 minutes, and it costs 11,000 credits, 11,115 credits. So it's half the price and more than twice the time. Still trying to decide what I want to do. I might go for the ferron exchange method. And I might take the aluminium because I'll get 6,000 or 7,000 for that as well. Why not? And rather than throwing it away, and confirm. All right, so if you look up the top, you'll see that your original amount of minerals has reduced, because in the refining process you lose some of the good ore as well. What I'm going to end up with is 14 sellable SCU. It says 1350, but it rounds up. It always rounds up. So I'm going to get 14 SCU of Quantanium and 14 SCU of aluminium, which will be 28 SCU. When it's finished refining, you come back here and select the cargo ship that you want to store it in, and then stop and collect. We're not going to do that because we'll lose all of the good ore. All right. So I know I said I wouldn't refine the aluminium, but I thought, what the heck? It's an extra 6,000 or 7,000, maybe more. I don't know. And it doesn't cost much more to refine it. A couple of 100 credits, right? So it's really cheap to refine. The more expensive ores cost more to refine, and they take longer the more you have of it. So if you have tier 1, tier 2, take longer and cost a bit more. But yeah. Anyway, that's Prospector mining. I wish you well. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. And thank you for watching.